You ever wake up with a sore and achy back? If so, I got a unique core exercise for you today that helped me get out of back pain many years ago. If you don't have back pain and you're here for strength and performance, this is for you too. This exercise builds fascia strength, that sweet combination of strength and cat-like agility. Let's take a look. All right, standing in a good alignment, good posture, feet about hip width apart. I'm going to put my hands, okay, on my waistline, okay, that meaty place between my ribs and the top of my hips, just like that. I'm going to use that as sort of a landmark for my brain to find that area around my waistline. And what I'm going to do is do a hula hoop, a rotation, a circle around my waistline. Now that's much different than a regular hula hoop where people move their hips. That's going to be a lot easier, okay? People have locked down cores, this area around the waistline. Many athletes do too, because they work so hard at getting a solid, tense-filled core that stabilizes their spine, they lost their nimbleness and their dynamic movement in their waistline. So we're going to get that back. I call this, it's a principle in my Fascia Strength and Power program I call move from center. And it's the key to cat-like agility, okay? So this beginner exercise with our hands around our waist, we are going to do a hula hoop around, like a rotation, both directions, around the waistline. So as I go to the front, my belly's sticking out. Now I'm going to my left side, and now it's going to the back. Now my right side and my front, side, back, right side, front, left side, back. And I'm going to reverse position or directions. Left side, front, right side, back, left side, front. Now, if this is your first time doing this, and especially if you're in back pain, you probably notice this is very difficult. You don't have a lot of mobility, and your brain can't find these muscles because they're locked down. And again, you want to think more like you're a belly dancer, where you're moving from the belly to create this agility, okay? To make these waist rotations easier for you, I'm going to show you how to do them in the sitting position. It'll help you find your center. Understand, the movement is the medicine here. As you get better at doing the waist rotation, your back can now, your back pain can now heal. What's going on is we're releasing tight tissues that have been locked down in your torso, while at the same time strengthening muscles that have likely been offline for years. Sitting on the edge of the chair, because I'm sitting down on my butt, my hips are now not in play. I won't move my hips, and it'll make it easier for me to find my waistline to do the rotation. So when I work with people with back pain, and I've helped many with this move from center concept, I have them sitting down and I have them going really slow. Take your time. Try to find the movement. Go both directions, back, side, front, side, back, and then switch directions. Right side, front, left side, back. And if you're in, significant pain, take your time with this. Maybe that's all you do for the first day, and then wake up because you might get some new sensations. I don't want you to get too sore if you're in significant back pain. But if you're in, not that big of back pain, or you're doing this for athletic purposes, you can get so you start moving with that fluidity and get some reps in where you're rotating with the waist. Now, the hardest place for beginners, well, basically everybody, even athletes, is getting a rotation in the backside, in the lower back kidneys areas. So I'm going to show you another little variation, another exercise to wake up the back so we can move from center with more agility. Okay, to wake up the back portion of your waistline, go ahead and lay down with your knees up like I am here, Okay, if you need a little pillow, if you got a tight neck, just put a little pillow behind your head and just lie in this position and feel the little arch that you have in the small of your back. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take an inhale, and when we inhale, we're going to use that inhale to help flatten that arch so your small of your back is pressing against the floor. So I take an inhale, and I can feel the small of my back pressing on the floor. Exhale, and then the arch reappears. So go ahead and do a few of these, maybe 3 or 5. Every time on the inhale, the small of my back is pressing into the floor. There's no space there. Exhale, the arch reappears. Now when you do that on inhale, what we're doing is we're activating the diaphragm muscle that sits under the ribs. It's locked down on many people. It's a key core muscle that helps fix back problems and strengthens the core. So we're activating the diaphragm, releasing it, getting it stronger with this exercise. Okay, we just did the exercise with you on the floor doing those back crunches where we got the diaphragm moving again. Now sitting down, put your hands on your waist and try a few more rotations. Start in the front, belly out, to the left side, to the back, to the right side, to the front, to the left side, to the back. Change directions, left, front, back, and maybe find a little rhythm by now where the movement feels like it's becoming more natural and that tension in your waistline is releasing and you're finding new mobility there. Now, one thing you can do once you get to that point where you're feeling a little more mobility is put your hands behind your back. Now, if this is too much stretch for you, okay, if your shoulders aren't mobile enough, you can put your hands in front too. What this is going to do is align your posture. It's going to stretch the fascia wetsuit both up and down a little bit, also left to right. And from this position, I can do the same rotations with my waistline, both directions. Again, if your shoulders are too tight, put the hands in front, just like that, and move from center. We're freeing up our core, freeing up our center, so we moved up more dynamically, more like an animal, more like you did when you were a young person. Okay, recap. As a beginner, I want to give you a little mini workout you can do with what I just showed. First thing, start sitting down with your hands around your waist and do a few rotations. Do 3 rotations in each direction. Once you get done doing 3, benchmark how difficult it was to do those. How much, resistance were you feeling as you were trying to do a clean rotation that felt smooth. Then go down to the ground while you're lying on your back and do those back crunches where you're pressing your back into the floor. Do 10 of those. We're going to free up the diaphragm. Then come back up to the chair and do 5 rotations each direction. And you'll notice after being on the ground, freeing up the diaphragm, that you'll have more mobility in the movement because you'll loosen up the back. Once you get there, if things are going fine, go ahead and put your hands behind your head or in front. Do some of those. Move from center rotations. You can do 5 each side. I'm not going to do 5, but you get the idea. Do 5. And as you get better, and this might take some time for some of you, then you can start standing up, okay? Standing up is the most difficult, remember, because then we want to use our hips. So when we stand up and put our hands on our waist, we try to keep our hips isolated and be a belly dancer. Hula hoop around the belly, not the hips. What you'll notice as you get better at moving from center with better agility with this exercise, your back pain will subside. And not only will it subside, you'll start building fascia strength that'll make you stronger and more agile in everything you do. If you like this work, if you like this move from center work, It is a whole module in my Fascia Strength and Power program. So if you want more of this, you can look into that program. I'll leave the link at the bottom in the description. That's all I have for you today. We'll see you on the next video.